Hello everyone and welcome to Rudy's Retro Intel. On today's show we'll be looking at this Texas Instruments TI99 4A, and I got it but I don't have the video cable. So we're going to look at a hack that we can do to get composite out for under $5. So let's peek inside and poke around. So at this point I've jumped ahead and removed the board from the case. I've turned around so you can see the ports better. The video port, the video and audio port is right here, and the only cable I have is this RF modulator that you plug into your back of your television. Here you screw these terminals in for your antenna, and then you have your selection for TV or antenna. This would be set to antenna, and your channel select would be here, and this would plug into the back of the TI99. Now I don't have this cable to connect to the monitor, so I thought, well, since the video out of the TI99 4A is composite, I figured why not create a composite out that uses the the RCA jacks and plug in that way. Also, once I have that and I have video, I can then plug in a Commodore cable, which is very similar to this, and has the audio jacks and video jack in the back of the cable. I can plug it into here. Now, I've been told that the Commodore cable only produces video but no audio. So I could have plugged this one into my monitor and have video, and on the second one I can have video and audio, and I would have two video sources, or two displays set up with the same information on the screen, which would be great because that way when friends come over we can play. One person can be in front of one screen with a joystick, and the other can be in front of the other screen with a joystick, and you can play games, and you have your own screen to watch, so it makes it more fun. But for me right now is I want to see if this board works, and I need to get some kind of audio, because to get a television out that I have buried somewhere in my basement to see if this works is just too much work, and I want something a bit more permanent. So let's see what is out there for the pinouts on this adapter here. Let's see if we can get a better view. Something like that. Okay, let's take a look. So here we can see online I've found several different pictures. These all are for the TI99, but the configuration varies depending on the picture, so this is not the most ideal. So what I want to do is take my probe and start checking the pins on this connector. So I want to check these out with the oscilloscope, because from the documentation one of the pins is plus 12 volts, and I don't want to run 12 volts into my monitor because it'll definitely screw up your monitor. So let's take a look at that and with the oscilloscope and go from there. Okay, now I have the oscilloscope connected, and I'm going to probe the connector here to see where we're getting what types of signals and where. So let's look at the first one here. This one is at the auto select. Let's see what it's finding here. And this is the 12-volt pin. So this first pin is one you have to be very careful not connecting to your monitor. If you do, then you could have a dead monitor, depending on the safety features within the monitor. Let's look at the next pin. The next one is here. And what are we getting here? And we are getting signal here. and it looks like to me that it is a video signal of some type. Let's try to power it off and back on again. There we go. Now that's much better. It actually looks like a video signal. Let's hit the auto select and see what it comes up with. And yes, that looks like a video signal with the vertical, horizontal hold, etc. What's the next pin here? So the next pin is this middle one, which was ground. We determined that's pretty simple to determine. And now we are looking for is audio. Where is audio? Is this the pin? This is not showing anything, so it's probably not connected. And the final one is here. And that to me looks like a audio signal. So I think we found all of them. Now, in order to make a connector for this, I do not want to take an adapter and plug it in here and splice it, the wires and so on, because these are a big pain in the neck to solder up. Excuse me. And I don't want to solder off the back because the pins are very small. I don't want to be fooling around there. So I want to make a bit more permanent and better connection. So you could look on the board for other places where you would find signal. So for example, I could go to this resistor here, and what am I seeing here? I'm seeing 12 volts here, so that's not a good spot. You could pick a different resistor. Let's pick this one. I'm not getting really anything there, but I have here. Let's take a look on this one, and yes, we are getting a video signal here. My capture for the oscilloscope is slower than the actual scope itself. I'll have to see what I can do to fix that, but you can see there is some signal. So this pin, which I've marked in a red dot because I've done this before just to make sure it's all working before I embarrass myself in front of the camera. So this is your video, which is the same, which represents this pin. I found this mark, this point here for audio, and this is, again, I marked that, which correlates to the pin there, and then here is ground. I found this pin here to be ground. So based on that, what can we do? Well, we can actually now hook up some wire, RCA jacks, and see if our video and audio work. So let's get to that. Next thing we're doing is I've soldered up the RCA jacks with some wire. I use the red wire for video. I'm using the yellow for, the red is audio, yellow is video, and green, but it looks like blue on the camera for some reason. This green wire is ground. So let's connect the connectors from the monitor first. So this is audio, and this one is video. And let's plug these or connect these temporarily to the board to make sure it's all working. So I've marked the connections on the board as to where things should go. I use the marker to put a spot on the board so I know what goes where. I didn't have a yellow connector, a yellow highlighter or marker of some kind, so I have to use blue. So that will go there. And then the red will go here. Now I have to bend these a bit so that they don't come undone. We don't want it to short out when the computer is on. So I'm just going to bend these a bit. That one goes there. And this one will go here. You don't want to go on. Let's make you go on there. There. Maybe not. Okay, let's bend this a bit more. Okay, so now we have that connected. I have the cables here connected to the audio and video, and we shall turn on our other camera. Okay, now that I've connected everything up properly, let's turn on, watch the video in the corner here to see if the monitor comes on once I power on the unit. Yeah! Oh, and there we go. We have some video and we heard a beep. So the audio seems to be working. This is great. Let's see if we can get a better quality picture for you on the composite capture card. So now we have both the monitor and capture on my LCD screen. Let's power this up and see what goes. Oh, there was the beep, and I'm getting video, and it looks quite clear, even better in person than it does on video. So now that we can see this is working, our connection setup is all good. I got a little bit of audio, it's pretty low. Let me see if I can turn up the volume on that and turn it back on. There we go, we heard the beep. So now that we know it's working, the next step would be to modify the case so I can put those connectors into the back. So let's do that next. And I'm back. I have drilled holes in the case. I put a video sticker, audio sticker, hooked up the RCA jacks, which then go to the monitor. And I ran the wires based on our previous section of the video where we talked about where to connect those connections. So let's power on and see if we get video and audio. And we go. There we go. We actually have proper video and audio, so the jacks are working. Now the last part is to put the case back together and we're good to go. Now that we have everything back assembled again, I've plugged in the monitor for the external composite to my television and to my HDMI television monitor, and the Commodore cable, which is only audio, to the Commodore monitor. Now you'll see I have also a Commodore, I have the audio plugged into the Commodore because for some reason my RetroTink isn't working properly. So video is coming from the Commodore cable, but the audio is coming from the mod that we did. So let's power it on, see if it works. And it's working. We had sound, and let's take a look here. And well, there we have it. It's working on the external monitor. So let's try something here. Let me turn off. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Let us see if we can go one. Go into basic and try something. Print. I'm learning the keyboard on this thing. World. Oops. So it's function S and function B, and the return key is very small on this keyboard. There's our little program. Let's run it. And there we go. It's running basic. So at this point, the machine is working. We got the two video sources up and running. Let's turn that one back on. and we can see it's running just fine. So the next thing would be to find a cartridge and play a game. Well, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the mod for the TI99 4A. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from them. And thank you again for all the new subscribers and existing subscribers of the channel. I really appreciate it. We're moving up there slowly, but I'm really happy that every single one of you is here. So please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.